Hey there, friends. This is a little video for those of you who are thinking about going on a date for the first time in a long time. My coaching clients are sometimes people who haven't dated in years, since their divorce, since the loss of a partner. And the whole notion of dating is scary, maybe embarrassing. There might be some shame, overwhelming, like what are these apps? What is Tinder? What's going to happen? What are people going to want from me? What are people going to expect from me? So, first off, I want to acknowledge that even deciding to date at all is incredibly courageous. Yeah, it's hard to put yourself back out there. It's courageous because you are basically stepping out into the unknown. And you're going to be judged potentially. You're going to have rocky moments, good moments. It's going to be unknown. So, good for you. You're taking care of yourself. The second thing is, what are you supposed to do? The first time that I went on a date after I hadn't dated for like 6 years, I was like, should I get some lipstick? Am I supposed to put on makeup? What do I do with my hair? What do I wear? So, what I would like to encourage you to do as far as what you look like and what you appear is to simply drop in and be whoever you want to be that day. Like, assume an identity, right? I'm a wild woman. It doesn't matter. For your very, very first date, when you haven't dated in a long, long time, just try something on. It's a costume, right? It's an identity. You're trying it on. Whatever it takes to feel courageous. You could be Wonder Woman. You could be a secret spy. You could be an anthropologist. But I really would encourage you to not just be a dater, but to sort of drop into like an identity and then dress for the occasion. Put on the clothes not to look like you did when you were 22 or not to look like you did when you first met the love of your life who is no longer around, but to look like somebody that you want to pretend to be for a little bit. It can be fun. The second thing is plan a date that will be a good experience for you no matter what. So pick a place that you like, pick an activity that you like. It was nice during COVID. A lot of my dates were walks. So the first date that I had after years of not dating was meeting a man in a beautiful park. It was a beautiful park. Walking around the park, there was a cafe in this park that I liked. So no matter what, it was going to be enjoyable. So plan something that you like and go ahead and say what you like. Pick something. If it's playing bingo, if it's riding bikes, if it's having coffee at 8 a.m., because that's when you feel good about life, go ahead. Make it so that the experience itself is something where you feel good. Also, make it short. I often wear a watch on dates, especially the very, very first date. It's going to be a lot for you. And your mind's going to be spinning in all sorts of different directions. Your nervous system's going to be asking questions of you. So make it short. I like the number 35. I may like a 35-minute first date, especially if this is new for you. It's perfectly fine to have a brief encounter with a new person, get to know them a little bit, and then say, this is my first date. I want to see where it goes, but right now I have to go do something else. Also, you want to plan for something afterwards that you enjoy and look forward to. Because there will be a lot of questions that come up if you're not used to dating. There will be a lot of reactions that come up if you're not used to dating. So what's really nice is to immediately go into something that you know is good. So my first date, I walked around the park with this man who I didn't know at all, who I didn't understand. We didn't relate very well at all. He told me a lot of stories about his divorce. He sat really close to me on the park bench. And then the coup de grâce, as they say in France, he started telling me what women are really like. Yeah, that's my favorite thing when I go on a date with a man I've never met before and he tells me exactly what women want and what they're really like, because I have no idea. And you know what he told me is that women can't make up their minds, and what women really want is to go shopping and to try this and try that and change their minds and try this and try that. And what he was doing was telling me a story about how disappointed he was in his ex-wife. So I looked at my watch. It was 30 minutes after the hour, and I said, I'm giving him 5 more minutes to start having a conversation that I want to have. And it didn't happen. So after 5 more minutes, 35 minutes together, that's a long time with someone you don't know. That's a lot to do when you're not used to this. After 35 minutes, I said, thank you very much. Merci, au revoir. I'm leaving. That's it. And my self-care for afterwards was I went and got a new bike, a really cute bike, a blue bike with a basket, right? So that was a day that could be marked on my calendar as the day of Kimberly doesn't know how to date and meets the absolutely wrong person and has a conversation that drives her crazy. And that can be the date in my calendar, like I got that bike, that super cute blue bike, which I rode around and really enjoyed, right? So after your date, I don't know what your self-care is, but, cue up your favorite drama. Make sure that you have some delicious soup awaiting you when you return home. Have plans to go swimming so that on that day, the date and whatever ramifications come from that date don't overtake your life. You want to keep things in perspective. And I know you know this. I know you're smart and you know how to keep things in perspective, but your nervous system and your body, when it's not used to dating, will be charged. It'll be charged. I would also recommend that you try to be a really good human being on your first date and not spend a lot of time judging the person, like trying to figure out, is this a good person? Is this a bad person? Is this a lazy person? Is this a hardworking person? And not looking at the person as somehow meeting or not meeting your expectations and your checklist, right? Don't make this a job interview. You're not going to enjoy it because you don't even know what job you want them to do yet. It's too soon. Your first date is like your first pancake. It is probably going to be a little bit burnt on the outside and raw on the inside. Accept that. Your first date is a rough draft. It's a first attempt. It's learning to ride a bicycle again, right? It's a maybe fall flat on your face in your mind kind of moment. So for your first date, make yourself the object of inquiry. Figure out how you feel. Like I was sitting on that bench and I was like, well, I'm enjoying the green of the juniper tree behind me and I'm enjoying the air of springtime. But this person's proximity, I'm not enjoying. Like I'm not feeling good. And when you really touch into how you're feeling during the date, then you'll make the decisions that are right for you. So you can keep it quite short. It's fine. So after 35 minutes, I got up and I left and I went and got a very cute bicycle. And I never saw that man again. I mean, we weren't a match. I didn't know what a match was. How was I going to know that? I could, you're supposed to make these lists like my soulmate, this, and that. When you're getting over heartbreak or loss or a long sort of dating dry period, you don't have a list that makes a lot of sense, right? You may have a list that's just like, I don't want this and I don't want that. So going on dates with people and noticing how you feel will help you start to feel like you know what you want, right? You'll get to know what you want by seeing how your body and your nervous system responds to your actual interactions with people. I'm not 100% convinced that you should visualize everything that you want because your visualization strategies are very much tied to your past experiences and they may not be allowing room for other things that could show up. So bravo, my friend. Bravo. You're going to go on a date. You're going to do it. It's going to be okay. It might actually be fun. You might enjoy yourself. It probably is not going to be the beginning of a long story. It's going to be an exercise in trying out something new. And I think it's fantastic. And I wish you all the best of luck. And don't worry what you look like. And don't wait. And just get out there and try it. Because eventually your pancakes are going to get